Sean Ryan exposed every detail with zero hesitation. Check it out.
1 hour.
Yeah, a little over. He was like, I don't know. And then after the interview, sat down in a room and talked with us. And
during an appearance on Tucker Carlson's podcast, Sean revealed what Trump and Kamala are like behind the scenes and revealed the actual reason she didn't appear on his show.
I think we should definitely talk about the Afghan withdrawal and the Taliban funding. I'm pretty much initiated that entire conversation that developed into what it is. It's going to look bad on me if I don't talk about that.
And today, we're covering it all. So, if you believe truth isn't partisan, hit the subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
What, you interviewed Trump for hours, I think. How long was that interview?
Well, 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah, a little over. He was like, I don't know, 70 minutes or something.
What'd you think of him?
I really liked him. I wasn't expecting him to be as personal as he was, and when he met everybody on my team and made it a point to, it wasn't like shaking somebody's hand and talking to his assistant or it was direct eye contact, wanted to meet the entire team. There was 3 NFL stars in there that came in to meet him. And as soon as I walked in the room, he didn't care about him, came right over, introduced himself. I mean, it was very personable. And then after the interview, sat down in a room and talked with us. And it was really, I was happy. And I was more happy that he treated my team with respect. And because, you see a lot of people that are like, oh, you're just the fucking help. And it's like, no, that's like who makes the whole thing.
Right, exactly.
So,
That's right.
And so I really appreciated that,
Okay, well, this is nothing out of the ordinary for anyone who doesn't consume their news from the MSM. There are countless clips of Trump acting the exact same way in different settings. Yet, we're at a point where major outlets have built a completely distorted image of him. The same thing happens to any public figure they disagree with. Just look at how CNN went after Joe Rogan. A quick internet search shows how skewed their coverage was during the pandemic. But Sean was one of the few podcasters who actually tried to get Kamala on for a full interview as well. So let's hear how he described that experience.
You came very close to booking Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that come about?
Well, I mean, who was the first candidate? I think it was either DeSantis. DeSantis wasn't in studio. And it's the only Zoom interview I've ever done.
What'd you think of him?
I mean, as far as like a person, it was like 15 minutes, man. So I don't have a gauge. I like a lot of the stuff that he's done down in Florida, pretty much all of it. And, but that I know of, I don't know everything, but I don't care what side they're on. I'm not going to blast you, but I think it's important that people know who that person is, whether we talk about politics or not. Like with RFK, we talked about his heroin addiction and all that kind of stuff. And it gives you a little more background on how they grew up, what their values are as a person, not just some soundbite bullshit, that's fed to them. And so I wanted to interview.
This is what sets podcasters apart from the legacy media. Most episodes are barely edited. The conversations flow naturally, and they can go in any direction the host and guest choose. Not to mention, the reach is far bigger. Traditional outlets still have their brand power, but they've spent the past decade burning that credibility. Even now, they refuse to embrace the raw, unfiltered format people actually want. A perfect example is CNN's hour-long sit-down with Tim Dillon, where they originally planned to trim it down to just 5 minutes and only released the full version after the comedian pushed back. It now sits at 1.8 million views. Now, when it came to Kamala, Sean ran into some interesting hurdles with her team while trying to book her. But before we play that, quick reminder. We just launched our merch store. It's awesome. You're going to love it. And every purchase helps us continue to bring you stories the media tries to bury. So make sure you check it out. Now, back to the video.
And I really wanted Kamala to come on. And so
I think it's Kamala.
Whatever. And
I think that's
it's irrelevant at this point.
As it gets racist, you just call it Kamala.
But so did a couple of press releases and to maybe pressure her into it a little bit. And she took it seriously, and she watched. I was told she spent a night going through particular interviews and liked the way that I interviewed and liked my style, and she wanted to do it. And they asked, what do I want to talk about? And I said, well, I think we should definitely talk about the Afghan withdrawal and the Taliban funding. I'm pretty much initiated that entire conversation that developed into what it is. And me and my guests. And they didn't want to talk about that. I said, well, it's going to look bad on me if I don't talk about that, because I've been hammering this damn thing for a year now. Over a year, I think. But I was like, all right.
It's funny that even though Kamala had a bunch of young people on her campaign, the way they handled her digital media outreach was a complete fumble. I mean, to be fair, they didn't have a candidate who could survive a long-form interview unless a good chunk of it was scripted. Add to that the short timeline they had to sell the unsellable. And avoiding these shows might have actually been their safest move. But there was also a clear layer of arrogance. One staffer reportedly said the campaign saw more cons than pros in doing these appearances. Mind you, this is someone running for president. If she couldn't handle a couple of hours with Rogan, how exactly was she supposed to handle meetings with foreign leaders? Sean went on to explain why having Kamala on mattered to him, and he made some valid points.
I think it would have gone no matter what they handed me for the outline, or if I created my own outline, that the questions would have been blaming Trump for everything, even if it was nothing to do with the question. I think it would have just been Trump did this, Trump did that. What about Trump? Trump, and I don't think I would have gotten any of her views.
Really?
Yeah, because I no matter who it is, I'm going to treat the guests with respect. And and I think I just, and on top of that, do I like her? Do I agree with anything that she did? No. But I also know that there's an aspect of media that I'm probably not getting the full picture. And so I want to hear them out.
Good for you.
But it was never going to be like a gotcha or a combative interview.
See, this is what it all boils down to, and it proves a point we made at the very start. The way our media is structured today, everything revolves around quick sound bites designed to push an agenda. You never get real discussions or full context, just surface-level talk meant to tell us people, what to think, instead of helping them understand an issue. That's exactly why independent platforms have become so important over the past few years, and why their influence will only keep growing. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, keep thinking.